Hello everyone, Zebedee here. Been a day. I upload daily, no one can stop me. I decided, since, my last video was about Thomas merchandise, being those garbage Trackmaster narrow gauge engines, except for Bertram, he's peak. I decided to talk about rare Thomas items. So let's begin. Starting with the epitome of rare Thomas and Friends items, the wooden railway Whiteface troublesome truck. I heard from someone that according to Roy Wilson, it was not meant to be released. It was a prototype that was and only a couple were released, like in New York. And only a couple thousands of these guys exist. I've had people say it's the rarest Thomas toy. It's not. Far from it, actually. I remember this from Thomas Wooden Railway stuff. Like, I want to say this guy has like 4 or 5 of those. I'm not joking. I mean, I wish I could get a Whiteface, but yeah. This one is a pure mystery to me. I was looking for like rare Thomas stuff, and I stumbled upon this, the prototype Rusty. And I found that there are multiple of these. So apparently there were multiple of the prototype for Rusty released. And I'm gonna say only about 7-ish have been claimed. This is wild, like, the fact that they made several prototypes and that they were released. Like, you can tell, like, no painted card, these weird stickers, that face that kind of looks like Toby or Mavis's. Yeah. Now, for the last 2 wooden railway items, we have Lorry 2 and Lorry 3. So let's get into them. For Lorry 2, he was sold in, this destination, like a road destination, which didn't sell well because, 1, Lorry 1 was everywhere around this time. He was in sets, he had his own pack, and if a kid was like, it's just Lorry 1. Because Lorry 1 and 2 have the same face, and other than the thing at the bottom, they're identical. Plus, this is a road destination, and kids would only be interested in the choo-choo trains. So, yeah, honestly, it didn't sell well, and that's why Lorry 2 skyrockets on eBay nowadays. Lorry 3. Now, this guy was never sold on store shelves. He was in a coupon, like a promo pack for Thomas Wooden Railway, which contained Boko, Tidymoth, and Lorry Free. The most natural pairing, if you ask me. Boko! So, I want to say, you had no chance of getting this guy. You didn't. You'd have to be, really into Thomas and Friends and, Wooden Railway to find out that this even existed, The chances of you getting Lorry Free just weren't possible. So that's why, and the chances of me getting Lorry Free, or even Lorry 2, sadly won't happen. Shame. Now we will roll away from Wooden Railway and head to Ertl. Now, not all of Ertl's items are rare. I'm going to say most is easy to collect, but the UK ones from 2003 and 2004 are really rare. These include the season 6 and 7 characters, so Salty, Harvey, Elizabeth, Jack, Alfie, and the season 7 characters, Emily, Fergus, Arthur, Murdoch, and Spencer. And a couple of Railway Series ones like Neil, Jock, Frank, and Bear. And Catherine. Yeah, we have Jock over here because he was the last turtle ever made. Alpha Bang. Loved his side rods. Yeah, they were originally gonna make Mike, but he got cancelled, which, shame, I guess, but, yeah, honestly, to be honest, in recent years, these stuff have gone down on eBay. I don't really have an Ertl collection. I only have 2 or 3. Yeah. Now for probably a big one. We all know Hornby. Now, I don't own a single one, like probably 99.9% of the people watching. So Hornby made, well, some Thomas and Friends characters, and most of them, emphasize on most of them, Emily, are good. I want to be real, I liked Hornby's stuff. I liked Botman more, but I like it. And towards like the end of Hornby's run, they made certain characters. These certain characters are the Flying Scotsman, Dart, Stepney, Oliver, Bear, and the big man, Murdoch. All of these guys are extremely hard to find. If you own any of them, you have something worth like 300 in your collection. Yeah. Murdoch is easily the rarest of them all. I'm gonna be real. Murdoch is the rarest model. Hornby Murdoch is the rarest model train Thomas and Friends thing of all of them. Like, out of Hornby's rarer characters, Botman doesn't make them. Well, except for Oliver. You can get him. And, they're gonna make Flying Scotsman soon, which, that's something, I guess. But I just want to say, first of all, Botman, just give me Stepney for crying out loud. But actually, they could make Dart. But, yeah. The later Hornby stuff are very rare, and Murdoch especially. Now, moving into Japan for a bit, we only have like one-ish Japanese item, and that is the Bandai Diesel 10. Now this was mass-produced, no way around it. There are hundreds of these, but yeah, a lot of people are going to want it for how perfect it is. So, that's why it skyrockets for over 100 nowadays. I'm gonna be real. I want one so badly. But, yeah, amazing. Perfect item. That's why it's for so much. Now we're heading into Tomy and Trackmaster, and in a bit, Trackmaster 2. Starting with Monty. Now you'll be like, Zebedee, is Monty rare? And the answer to that is absolutely! Monty's one of the rarest Thomas things ever, this Trackmaster one. He was allegedly only released in Poland. Poland! Meaning that he skyrockets nowadays. I'm gonna be real, he looks pretty good. I'm probably never gonna own one, because I'm poor. Yeah. And now for something big. The Trackmaster Alfie, and you'll be like, 1, it's ugly, 2. Since when did this exist? Now, Alfie was only released in Canada. And that's why, he skyrockets for like $200 to $300 on eBay. He is really expensive, and he's actually rare. This is no Tommy Oliver situation. Alfie is actually rare. If you own Alfie, God, you have something special. And only 320 of these exist. If you are one of the 320 people who owns this Alfie, you're probably luckier than I'll ever be in 10 years. So, yeah, I mean, he's pretty ugly, gonna be honest. Like, just because it's rare doesn't mean it's good, but, Moving on to the flip-face engines, I'd say they're all rare, but there are 2 in particular. Toby and Hero. Now, I actually own a flip-face item, if you've seen it, Thomas. Now, I'm gonna be real, Thomas and James, they're not easy to find, they're really rare, but like, out of the flip faces, they're the easiest to find. But Toby and Hero are rare. I think everyone can agree, the flip face Toby is the definitive Toby. Gonna be honest. I've heard people like detach it from the little truck and add a Henrietta, so looks nice. I also really love that face. Hero? I probably like Toby more, but Hero is packed with detail, and honestly, if I ever get my hands on one of these, he'll be my new profile, so Now for a weird anomaly, and this is this Trackmaster 2, Thomas Christmas train. Now you'll be like, Zebedee, are you a dumbass? And to that I say, yes and no. The thing was, only about 20 of these were made and were sent straight to Tuttley Thomas in one big batch, and sold out pretty quickly. I just thought this thing was cancelled, but after watching some people's videos, this thing exists, so this is probably the rarest Trackmaster 2 item to exist. Yes, just Thomas's snow and little all engines go humans and a pretty cool tanker, actually. Now, may we hop away from toys and head to VHSs. We have the very first cassettes. Cassette 1 and cassette 2. Now, these were the very first pieces of Thomas homemade media. Homemade media, God. Home media out there. Honestly, these things skyrocket for about 100 on eBay. Like, I want to say only 13 copies of Further Adventures have been claimed. Nothing to snuff at. I may actually make a video on these one day. These are very interesting to me. If you, have a copy of Further Adventures that you, don't need anymore, you know where to send it. And now we have the rarest Thomas VHS, no question. 3 splendid episodes. Now, this thing was only available if you collected tokens in the Thomas Club in England. Yeah, I'm not sure how this worked, because, 1, I wasn't alive by that time, 2, I didn't join it, because 1, I'm not in the UK, you can probably tell where I was born due to how I speak, but, yeah, this is the rarest Thomas VHS thing ever. If there is anyone that, owns... does anyone own one of these? I kind of want to know. Now we have Tales from the Tracks. It was the last VHS tape released in the year 2006 or 2007 in America. And now, if you want to get one of these for under 300, your chances are very little. Thomas's Christmas Wonderland. I honestly don't know why this thing is so rare. Just browse eBay and find this thing is so expensive. Now let's run away from home media and head to books. Now, I'm only gonna cover Railway series because let's be real, most Thomas books are worth nothing. I have far too many My Story Library books or whatever they're called. But Mattel, if you are watching this, which you probably don't care about Thomas fans, re-release the Christopher Audrey Railway series books. They deserve to be seen just as much as Wilbert's. He may not have the legacy, but he continued it. Christopher Audrey's books need to be seen. If you want to get, I don't know, let's say Thomas and His Friends. Yeah, Thomas and His Friends. Oh, that'll be $300 out of your pockets. Oof. Now we have the William Middleton illustration for the railways, for the 3 railway engines. Say what you will about those ugly engines and human. This thing is rare. I'm gonna be real. Only, should I say 15? Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but this is the first Thomas Railway series thing, period. The fact that some of these still exist today shocks me, that people like Sodor Island models have this. It truly is amazing, because this book started the legacy that, to Mattel, is forgotten. Yes, I said that. And now we have this big anomaly, and that is the Island of Sodor, its people, history, and railways. This thing was written by Wilbur Awdry, and it was illustrated by Clive Spawn. Now, this is no story. No. This is the biggest lore dump of all time. The Bible for Thomas fans. That's how to put the Bible for Thomas fans. Yes. This thing is genuinely beautiful. I love this thing. I've read it online 100 times. I have a video about one of the segments in there. Yeah. This thing skyrockets for over £400 because 1, it's perfect. 2, I'm gonna be real, does anyone actually own this? There are some of these actually signed by Wilbur Awdry Give. Yeah, that's insane, bro. So, yeah, that was a video on some rare Thomas items. Now, none of this is a Tommy Oliver situation. All of these are rare. If I had to pick the ones I want the most, I'd go Bandai Diesel 10, Hornby Murdoch, Prototype Rusty, Whiteface Troublesome Truck, and the Island of Sodor, its people, history, and railways. So, yeah, I'm Zebedee. You're the guy watching this video. I don't know who you are. If you Bandai Diesel 10, a Hornby Murdoch, a Prototype Rusty, a Whiteface Troublesome Truck, or the Island of Sodor, its people, history, and railways are, then you'll know my address. Anyway, I'm Zebedee, and goodbye.